Welcome everybody to the Wednesday team call, the 30-minute mentor series. We have three special guests today. I know we usually just have one guest. We have three today, so I'll give them a proper announcement in just a minute. There's a lot of, usually I have a hard enough time memorizing stats for one person, so I'm going to read them off when we get to these guys and share with you what they're going to be sharing with us today. But quick announcement, remember that we have the launch of Team Beachbody coaching in the UK, Shakeology, the Team Beachbody network opportunity, which means you can sponsor coaches and customers in the UK come the fall. So keep that in mind. The best way to prepare for that, I shared on a Hey Bro show on episode 3, I believe, about paddling. So if you haven't watched that, make sure to go watch that to see what you can do now to help prepare for that. I have some of my UK friends on here as well. So say hey to the UK friends. See you guys here. Super excited about Summit coming up. It's just a few weeks away. Gabby and I are here with the kids in Maui for almost 5 more weeks, and then we're going straight to Summit from here. And so we're super excited about that, to have Summit in New Orleans, be around 25,000 of the coaches in Team Beachbody. It's like simply awesome. So my invite to you is, if you are not signed up for Summit, or you don't know about Summit, or you don't know if you're supposed to go to Summit, the answer is yes. We want you to be there. A Summit is a huge part of the reason our team is as large and as big and as powerful as it is, because I've always made an effort to get myself and everybody to Summit. I remember my first year, I couldn't go to Summit. I'm going to tell this story real quick, because I didn't have any vacation time left at my job, because we had the birth of Alina. That took up vacation time. We had no vacation time left. I made a commitment. I'm going next year, and I'm taking 50 people with me. We ended up taking 53 coaches with us that next year. So it shows you what happens when you make a firm resolution and set a solid goal. Aside from that, after that, it grew like this. The next year we had 150. The next year we had just over 300. The next year we had 700. The last year we had about 1,400. And this year I have no idea, because our team has grown to 45,000 coaches across the US and Canada. And so that's a huge part, is Super Saturdays and Summits and coming to team calls and events. So with that being said, I want to make sure you come to Summit, coachsummit.com. Go look at it. If you have questions, we have coaches with houses they've rented that have room for you. So don't worry about room and board. You can get it a little bit cheaper by rooming up with them. It's just coming to Summit, getting there. So I want you guys to be there. I remember last year, this is how important Summit is. I remember last year, Carl Deichler was like, you know what? Summit is about sold out. And it's just a couple weeks away. I'm going to tell you, if you can just get to Nashville, just sneak in the back door. I'm not telling you guys to sneak in, but literally that's how he was saying how important Summit is. He's like, just come and sneak in the back exit door. Like, you got to be at Summit. I'm not encouraging you that you do that, but that's just how important it is that you get there, and even last minute figure out how to get there. So with that being said, I'm going to announce our special guests today. We have Crystal, Andrea, and Kevin. Now, Crystal's been coaching for 5 years come October. She's a lifetime 5-star diamond coach, but the power of her team has come from being a part of something more on a personal level. Not making an income, not making money as a Team Beachbody coach. It's the power of creating a team. So she is the founder of Team Epic Evolution, and this is a place where people are encouraged to grow, thrive, and evolve in who they were created to be. I love that mission statement. She is also a Success Club 10 legend, which means she has hit Success Club 10 for over 24 consecutive months. Now, what I love about this call is she has 2 coaches, one in the Beachbody 100,000 Grand Prize Challenge contest at Summit, and one in the Health Challenge. So Andrea is a 32-year-old mom of 2. She's currently part-time, and she's a nursing assistant and stay-at-home mom. She's been an Emerald coach since February of 2015. She's currently working towards becoming a Diamond coach, and we know you're going to do that, Andrea. She is also an Insanity Live instructor, soon to be Core de Force certified, and an end goal to one day be a master trainer with Beachbody. She is a Beachbody Challenge Grand Finalist, which means she has the opportunity to win $100,000 in the Beachbody Challenge on stage at Summit. She has lost 170 pounds, and she has lost 120 inches with Beachbody. 215 pounds in total since her heaviest weight. She's an avid distance runner now. She's ran multiple races, currently training for a Tough Mudder and a half marathon. She's was a former 2-pack-a-day cigarette smoker and fast food soda addict. She suffered from degenerative discs and chronic hip pain, cluster migraines, hyperthyroidism, and learning disability. She's an overcomer of a decade-long bulimia binge eating disorder self-cutting, and suicidal attempts. So she's really come a long way in her transformation. Kevin is a 46-year-old married with 2 teenage sons, and he has cerebral palsy. He spent the last 20 years of his life in a place that he believed to be marriage, parenting, and a full-time stressful job, and he did not take care of himself. His downtime was spent watching TV while eating bags of chips and Doritos. His wife begged him to change. As his wife began to change her life, he started drinking Shakeology, eating healthier, but never gave up the snacking. It was 17 months ago he began his journey. He went from completely sedentary lifestyle to one of being active and fit and losing 114 pounds along the way. With that being said, Crystal, I'm going to pass the time over to you. I'm trying to find her real quick. I don't think I could see her on here anymore. She might have dropped off. Oh, there she is.
I am muted. Yeah, I am muted. Hi. Thank you so much, Scotty, for having us all on. And I swear, if that's not enough to make a mama bear coach cry, I don't know what is. I'm over here trying to like stifle my tears. But yeah, so Scotty reached out to us and asked us to be on this call. And I was surprised because this is the first call that I've actually been on. These two have been having their shine and sharing their story everywhere. So I was excited to be a part of it and really some thought. But let me just introduce myself a little bit further real quick. I'm a mom of 2, and I've been coaching. October will be 5 years for me. What I had posted in the wall and that Scotty had responded to when I shared about Andrea and Kevin was I've never been elite. I've never made 6 figures. Yes, I'm a Success Club 10 legend. I've had a level of success as far as, you know, titles and things like that. But success for me just has come on a different level and just means something different to me altogether. And that's not to say I haven't shot for big business goals. I have. And you know, that cliche saying, like, if you shoot for the moon and at the very least you'll land among the stars. Like, I wouldn't have signed Andrea if I didn't have a goal of hitting Success Club. I wouldn't have sent her a follow-up if that wasn't my goal. But my team has grown in ways that I didn't originally anticipate when I set out to grow a team. My team has grown in ways that I didn't anticipate when I said, I want to be this, or I want to be that. I want to be 5-star. I want to be Success Club legend. All of those things are great, and everybody should have business goals, but I'm one of those people that kind of fell among the stars. I never made, and not to say I won't, I don't know what the future holds, but up until this point, I haven't made the money that I had set out to make or the titles that I had set out to make. But what I have seen happen, and I say this to Andrea all the time, is I might not grow business builders, but I grow people. And that's what this is about. And that's what it's always been about for me. And sometimes, and I think for a lot of us, that's why we get into it. We want to help people. We feel good. We want other people to feel good. And sometimes it's easy to lose sight of that. Sometimes it's really easy to get caught up in the titles and the names and the walking across the summit stage. And all those things are so awesome. And if it wasn't for those things, I wouldn't know Scotty. I wouldn't have been like, oh my gosh, Scotty Hobbs asked us to be on his call, because I've seen Scotty walk across the stage. But I also know that Scotty has a 3 Lives Club. And that always, or I don't know if you still do, I know you used to have the 3 Lives Club.
Yeah, we do. Yes.
That inspired me to take it away from the Success Club, take it away from the titles and things, and just focus on the lives and just focus on the people and growing the people. And so, people always ask us, since these two have been in the running for the grand prizes, people are like, what's your secret? What's your team's secret? And Andrea and I talked for about an hour prior to this call, because I was like, are people asking you this? They want to know the secret? And we talked about it in circles for a while. And when we went out to LA, we had this conversation. Corporate flew us out there for the quarterly challenge. But it's so funny to me, because I don't consider myself to be a great coach. Like, I'm not handing out meal plans left and right, or like chasing people down. Like, I'm not somebody that I consider to be like, did you do your workout today? Did you drink your Shakeology today? Like, that's not my style of coaching. So it blows my mind that people think that, like, I have this big secret sauce to having 2 challenge winners on my team. What I'm good at, and what Andrea has said to be the key to her success, and I'll let Kevin speak on this as well, is showing up. And showing up day after day and week after week and month after month and year after year. And I always use this phrase with my team, and I'm sure you guys have heard it, a rising tide raises all ships. Like, I'm nobody special, and I'm sure Scotty, and I don't know you guys in your ranks and all that in here, sure Scotty feels the same way. It's like, I'm nobody special, but I'm just going to show up for you. I'm just going to show up and I'm just going to be here. And I may not be able to solve all your problems. I won't. But I'm going to show up and I'm going to create a community of other people who show up. And that's been what's been this for us, I think, the secret sauce, and create a community where not only can people show up, but people can be themselves just authentically. And a big part of, I think, Andrea's spark was being allowed to be herself in a world where she couldn't be that anywhere else. And we gave her that place. And so she was able to thrive as a person. And early on, we joke. So Andrea is a little batshit crazy. I don't know if I can curse on your call, but she's a little batshit crazy. And Andrea and I are like sisters, and we fight a lot. But it's been 2.5 years of this girl changing her life and going from rock bottom to on top of the world. And so a lot of times she's come to me and she's been like wanting me to solve her problems. And I've told her, like, that's not my specialty. I can't solve that, but here, go this way, read this book, listen to this podcast, talk to this person. And I was just always there. I was always showing up. I wasn't offering anything that was this mind-blowing advice or secret to her life, but I was showing up. And so she has shared that was the biggest part of her being able to continue to show up for her life, is that she knew that Crystal and Team Epic would be a constant. If nothing else was a constant, we would be. And so that's Andrea. And then Kevin, I've never actually coached Kevin. Kevin is a friend of mine, and his wife, I signed up his wife. And so Tara is his wife, and her and I were having this conversation yesterday. And Tara is the most loyal she's a coach, but she's the most loyal challenger you'll ever meet in your life. And every month when she first signed up, her thing was, I want to get healthy for my 40th birthday, and I want to inspire my husband. And that was what she told me in the beginning. And that was over 2 years ago. And every month I would start a new challenge group, and some months it would only be Tara that came with me. Everybody else would fall off. Everybody else would, just either fall to the wayside or quit or stop Shakeology or whatever. And Tara would be like, hey, I'm here, I'll do it. And so I would show up because Tara would show up, and we would get more people on for the next month. My goal was to hit Success Club again, I get more people in. And Tara was a constant. And so I was a constant on the months where I was like, oh, do I have to run a challenge group? I'm like, you know what? Yes, I do, because Tara's showing up, and I'm going to show up for Tara. And that allowed Tara to be a part of the community. And that allowed Tara to show up for her life week after week and month after month. And eventually I became friends with Kevin. And I remember, Kevin, I don't know if you remember, I have the picture. It was when he first started his journey, and where were we? In the Bahamas on the Success Club trip. And him and my fiance had beers in their hand. And that day he was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be in the classic, and I'm going to win the challenge. And that's all there is to it. And I remember Nick, my fiance, was like, yeah, okay, Kevin, do it. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's his favorite line. Don't talk about it, be about it. And now every day he's like, yo, Kevin really did it, man. He's like, he really did it. But so all that to say, and I'll just tie it back and I'll let them speak, that there's really no secret to any of this. And I think that what it comes down to is, what does success look like for you? I told you, like, I don't have a bunch of accolades next to my name, but to me, this is success. To me, to be able to see them walk across the stage. And these are just 2 stories on our team that happen to be in the limelight right now. There's so many more people that are just drastically changing their lives in ways that maybe don't have a dollar sign next to it, or don't have a recognition or a title next to it, but they're changing their life on an internal level. And so for me, that's success. And so identifying that, and then showing up for it, and then just being there every single day, over and over and over and over. And even when you're not, being like, you know what, today I can't show up, but can you show up for me? And that's the power of the community for us, that has been for our team. And I'll just end on this note is I recently wrote a book. And so I had to step back for about 2 months from my business, and I was still, you know, keeping my head above water. But because I was able to, for 4 years, build this community of people that I believed in, when I said, hey, you know what, I really, really want to write this book. It's really on my heart. Can you guys keep me afloat now? Like, I need you to keep me afloat. Andrea then stepped up and she was like, I'll lead team calls. I'll do this. I'll do that. And other coaches, I'll do this. Because we are, you know, I'll say it again, the tide that raises all ships, because I believed in them for years. I poured into them. And then when I needed to pour into myself and my purpose for my life, they were able to do that for me. So to me, that's the power of a community and why I consider all of this such a big success for me personally in my life. But that's my 2 cents.
Awesome, Andrea or Crystal. So who do you want to share with us first today? Andrea or Kevin?
Kevin, why don't you go last, because you got news.
Okay.
Go ahead, Andrea.
I'll unmute you. Let's see if I can find
talking.
Of answering a message. So.
There you are.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So my name is Andrea. I have been on a health and fitness journey with Beachbody for the past 2.5 years. Actually, I had followed Crystal for probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years before I ended up joining as her as a coach for anything. And I had reached an all-time high with my with my weight. Right after I had my daughter, which was in September, I weighed 375 pounds. When I was 6 months pregnant with her, my they found out that I had hypothyroidism. So they ended up putting me on medicine, but despite the medicine and the efforts, I ended up gaining 125 pounds through that entire pregnancy. So I knew I needed to have some kind of a life change, but my life wasn't really positive, and I came from a really, 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 really dark past. I did not have very many good people in my life. Prior to me committing to my fitness journey, I was packing all my belongings to move into a homeless shelter with my family. And, you know, I just had immense hardship from my entire life. But I never had really dealt with that emotional, mental baggage up until I started my journey with Beachbody. So I would follow Crystal, and she would always post this raw, nitty-gritty stuff about the journey. You know, even when she was struggling and she wasn't hitting her own achievements, she shared that, but she shared the upswing of lesson that she learned from those, I call them fail forward moments now. So that in itself, I actually had another coach introduce the business opportunity to me before I went to Crystal, and they were a little bit like, I didn't know them, and I didn't know if I could trust them, and the way they were nagging at me, I thought, I don't know what I'm buying into here. And Crystal had posted something about a Black Friday sale. So yes, I am that coach and person that purchased their first program through a Black Friday sale. I begged my mom to get me this program. It wasn't available. I was going to get Turbo Fire. I wanted the exact program that Crystal so passionately talked about. And I did want to try Shakeology at the time, but I couldn't afford it. So I ended up trying the Herbalife shakes and hated them. And after my mom had purchased this program for me, my son asked me one question that changed everything forever. We took him to Hershey Park, and we take him there for his birthday every year. And he says to me, "Mommy, why do you never get on the rides with me, but Daddy does?" And instead of giving him another reason as to why I was missing out on the only moments with him I would ever get, I told him, "I promise you that I will fit on the rides with you next year." that next day, well, when we got home, I begged my mom to give me the program early, instead of giving it to me at Christmas time. I stood in the bathroom. I had a nervous breakdown because up until that point, I had failed at everything I ever set out to achieve. I got kicked out of college twice. I almost didn't graduate high school. I lost friends. And then, my dad always told me when I was, when he was a heavy drinker and, and he was in his drunk rages, he used to tell me all these awful things that I would never achieve anything. So when I faced myself in that bathroom that day, the day I committed to my fitness journey, every failure and negativity that I ever was spewed at me was thrown at me. And I actually took items in that bathroom, and I share this candidly because you have to know how important your job is as a coach. I took an extension cord and a knife in the bathroom because I didn't know what I was going to use to take my life with. I felt so helpless and hopeless. And even though I had a solution, I didn't believe in the solution to that point because I didn't believe in myself up to that point. And in the middle of my nervous breakdown, my newborn daughter cried. And I think that was my godsend at that moment because my heart filled with a passion to just try. So I ended up dropping the knife and I yelled out loud to myself, just try, Andrea. And at the end of that first workout, my socks were soaked in blood because I just shared this on a call previously. I'm sure I had pre-diabetes. I had feet that would bleed for the first 6 months of my fitness journey because I had deep heel fissures that every time I worked out, it would break them open. I also have because I have degenerative disc disease. Every program I tried to do Insanity Max 30 after Crystal had checked in with me. So I had purchased this program and, I wasn't in a challenge group right away, but Crystal never stopped checking in with me. Even though I purchased something off the Black Friday sale, she still checked in with me and she cared about me. But what she didn't realize when she was checking in with me is I already had another coach that was offering me the business opportunity. And I didn't hear them, but I responded to her because she was coming to me with a way that made me feel like she actually cared about me as a person. So I ended up telling Crystal, that about my experience with this, and she ended up telling me about joining as a discount coach, how I could save money on my Shakeology. And then I ended up signing up as a discount coach, got 21-day fix, and it was a wrap from there. I just kept doing round after round after round of 21-day fix. But this first year of my fitness journey, because I don't want this to go forever, was not easy. My daughter, I thought my daughter was going to need surgery because they thought they missed Hirschsprung's disease in her. So she was in and out of specialty care appointments. My mother-in-law was going through heart failure and she was in the hospital. We had to renovate her house in the middle of the summer, and on top of renovating her house, we realized that she was a hoarder. I was the crazy person outside with my phone streaming Beachbody on demand and packing all of my food and doing a house renovation because it was that important to me to honor my promise to get on that ride with my son. All I kept thinking about in those moments when every struggle came up, when every adversity came up, when every reason that I felt like giving up and quitting, all I kept thinking about was letting Kyle down and not fitting on that ride and missing moments with him that I would never get to make again. And that was not negotiable for me. It was not negotiable for me to live in a life where I was missing moments. And then the ultimate adversity happened 9 months into my journey. If it's anything that should have made me quit and would have made me actually really brought to light where the weak areas in my journey were was when my mom ended up having to go for emergency surgery to remove a brain tumor. I lost all 2 weeks of my life those 2 weeks. I don't remember how I ate, what I did, how I slept. I remember I went for a 5-hour run because that was how I was coping as I was running. And I really leaned on the team. Matter of fact, the day that my mom went through brain surgery, when I was waiting for the surgeon to come out and tell us if she made it out of surgery alive or not, and at this point we didn't know what kind of tumor it was, I plugged into our team call. And on that day, when I only had two people around me to support me and love on me in that situation. I had the opportunity to plug into a team call, and I had an entire community there with me the day I was waiting for this surgeon to come out. And that in itself, you have no idea in that moment what it did for me. As far as I shared with Crystal, when we went to California, and she asked me, what you went through so much. I'm surprised that you made it this far, and I'm proud of you. And I said to her, I watched you set all your goals as far as to become elite and to achieve this, and you didn't achieve them, but you never stopped showing up. And in process, you didn't quit on me. And because you didn't quit on me when I needed somebody to be there by my side, and I needed a team of people, of positive people in my life when it counted the most. When it counted the most, I had my team, and I didn't have that in my everyday life. So I ended up I hit the first 100 pounds down, got on the ride with my son, and then I really started dreaming about a life that I could have for myself. And up until this point, I didn't want to be a business coach. I was never motivated by ranks, success clubs, or anything like that. But so I couldn't find that spark for me to just take my life and purpose to the next level. But Crystal never stopped asking for our vision of what life would look like, as far as, that would make us really joyful and happy. And that's when I really started dreaming big. And I filled this board with things that if I achieved them, it would blow my own mind. I'm on track to achieving everything on that board this year, minus the three things I put up there, which are qualify for Boston Marathon, compete in Kona Ironman one day, and get my Spartan trifecta. And it's just crazy to me because, I went through the hard. I did the hard through the really hard. And when it came time for me to submit my results to the Beachbody challenge, I almost didn't submit my results. I almost didn't do it. And then one person said something key and pivotal to me. And actually another person on our team said, kind of like tuned in and said the same thing. They said, you're being really selfish you're being really selfish. And I thought, well, wait a minute, how dare you call me selfish? I gave somebody the shirt off my back at our Super Saturday. I am the least selfish person that there is. Like, how dare you call me that? And he said to me, you're being selfish because you did something incredible through a hard time, and you have all this wisdom and inspiration and things that you achieved through the really hard, and you're not sharing that with the world. He said, how selfish can you be that you're not going to take your own struggles and use that to help other people through their own struggle? And that was what did it for me. That was when I realized this is not about me hitting Success Club or ranks. Now I am on a mission to save lives, to save that person that's standing in a bathroom, thinks that there's no hope for their life, that they might have to end it, because I have the wisdom that overcame all of my past struggles, and that is who I want to help. I want to help the helpless and hopeless. So now here I am. I got recognized for my story. Life is crazy. And the only thing I did that I'm nobody special is I entrusted my path and purpose with, I put God at the forefront of everything I did. Everything. You know, our team is very deep in faith, and I always put that in front of everything I did. And now I'm working PRN as a nursing assistant, which means work as needed. But up until 3 months ago, everything designed to take me away from that job started happening. And somebody said something to me on our team. They said, have you ever stopped to think that maybe God is purposely putting obstacles to take you away from the things that you're not meant to do? And maybe you're meant to be a coach, and maybe you're meant to do, maybe your purpose is higher than what you're living. And that's when I said, I finally had a big heart-to-heart meltdown with God in my truck. And I said, I fully trust you to bring all the people to me and all of the opportunity to me. I accept what platform and stage you want to put me on. And I led with that. And I've let that be the vehicle of what has drove me, because for so long I didn't have belief. But as long as I know that the higher person above believes in me, then I keep going. And because I have my family and a deep why, that's what keeps me going. And because I have this team that allows me to just be imperfectly me and that be okay, then I can more confidently go into the world and be an imperfect version of myself and inspire people with that. So
I love that, Andrea. Thank you so much. Your story is powerful. I love how you tell your story, because it made me a little bit emotional, thinking about the people that we have in our life that are where you're at and how this will help empower them as well. So thank you so much for sharing that. Next, we're gonna hear from Kevin, and I'm writing so many notes on my phone right here, by the way, so I could remember some of the things that you've been through. So as I meet people that are going through some of those things, I can share your example to them. So thank you so much, Andrea, for that. I'm looking for Kevin on here. Kevin, there you are. You're unmuted. So
yes.
Let's hear from Kevin.
All right. Thanks, Scotty. Like Scotty said, my name's Kevin. And jumping on, a little bit of what Andrea said and what Crystal said in the beginning was, my wife had been doing Beachbody for about 2 years. And, every morning she would get up, come on, Kev, work out with me. And I just wasn't there. And, but I supported her and what she was doing. I was drinking the Shakeology. I was eating pretty good, but then I would snack at night. And that was my biggest downfall, and I would sit on the couch, bag of Doritos, some cookies, and some ice cream. I mean, that would be like a typical night. And come the fall of 2015, 3 things came together that really made me, decide to change my life. My youngest son at the time was playing travel baseball, and he was headed into winter workouts. And I would watch him, bust his ass all the time. And when he wasn't, I would get on him, but then I would come home, sit on the couch and like eat my life away. And I'm like, you know what? I can't expect, I'm not setting a good example for him to work hard if I'm not taking care of myself. About the same time, Tara came to me and said, hey, there's a new program, Hammer and Chisel, coming out, and I want you to do it with me. And in fact, Crystal's husband's going to do it, and a couple other coaches' husbands are going to do it. And they said they would create a little Facebook group, and you guys can talk and everything. And again, I still wasn't on board. I was like, oh, I don't know, and all this. Then I had my yearly physical. And my doctor said, listen, Kev, besides the blood pressure medicine that you're taking, I'm going to have to add one more. And it's looking like I'm going to have to medicate you because you're starting to have symptoms of being a diabetic. And I'm like, that there in the office, I'm like, I made the decision. I said, listen, my wife wants me to try this new program. It's 60 days. Let me try it. And I'll come back, take whatever test you want. And if I'm not doing well, then we'll address it with medication. But I wanted that choice. I wanted that choice to do it on my own rather than doing any medication. The biggest thing when I came home and told my wife that I was wanting to do it was, then the next obstacle was I have cerebral palsy, and it affects my left arm and left leg. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to use weights and hammer and chisel. How am I going to use weights? So did a little research, and, just by nature of how I grew up, I was never taught that I couldn't do things because of my cerebral palsy. My parents, first grade, I lived close enough to the school, would walk home, and I think first or second day we had books, and another kid was carrying my books. And I come up to the house, my mom comes out and says to the boy, why are you carrying his books? And he's like, well, his hand, he can't carry them. And my mom's like, no. Kevin, get your books, and that's the last time that'll happen. And right there was the start of them not treating me as someone who had a disability. They always told me to try. If I try something and I ultimately can't do it, okay, you tried. So that I always had that mentality. And, even when I graduated college, I was going to the gym and working out and using the machines. But then, like Scotty, you said in my intro, I let life take hold. And I start putting people ahead of me. So now when I was making the decision to take my life back, I had to find a way to be able to lift. And the way I'm able to do it is I use cuff weights or ankle weights. And I bought, I think, a 5 and a 10 pound weight at that time to start hammer and chisel. And I remember those first couple of days. I weighed 297 pounds. That wasn't probably my even heaviest. And I don't know if I was reaching for the bucket at all, but I definitely was close. That was probably the hardest time to get through it. And luckily, Tara was there, right there. The guys were right there. Crystal was there. Lauren was there. They were all cheering me on, and having that support system in those early days meant a lot, because I remember losing weight the first week and I was all excited. Then the second week, I didn't lose anything. And right there, I could have stopped. And Tara saw how down I was. And she was like, listen, it's going to be like that. You're going to have ups and downs. You got to stick with it, and you'll start hitting it, and you'll start seeing, progress. And luckily, I stuck with it, and I did. And through hammer and chisel, I wound up losing 26 pounds and like 13 inches. And I remember we did a 30-day hammer, and I was lucky enough to go. Tara had qualified for the Beachbody cruise. And I remember going shopping and buying clothes, and looking back on it, I probably shouldn't have bought extra larges, but they fit. And so I was going to wear them, and I felt great being on that cruise and seeing all the coaches, seeing everyone involved in Beachbody. And there was a moment during one of the workouts, it was actually Siggy's workout, and he wanted people to get down and plank. Here I am, still 270 pounds. I wasn't doing planks. And he looked towards the end of my ship. I don't know if he was looking directly at me, but it felt like it. And he said, no, I want everyone to do it. So I think I did like something like a push up against the rail or something like just to do something. And, you know, that really had an impact on me. And I came back from that, did 21-day fix, extreme, couple rounds of that, was really successful, but still trying to get the nutrition down. And, you know, people ask me, well, how did you curb those habits? It wasn't easy. And it wasn't where I shut the snacking off. I just found better alternatives, you know, and I started with that first. And so by this time last year, I was looking for the next challenge. And I started with Beast, and I joined Sagi's Facebook group, and talking about a family. And those people in there taught me how to do the workouts, how to support each other. And they were going through challenges. And if folks don't know, at Summit, there's trainers do workouts, and they have people on stage with them. And the way that Sagi picks the people on stage is he gives challenges in his group. And you got to complete the challenges, and, you know, he selects, you know, how many ever he needs. At the same time, people were preparing for the classic, the Beachbody Classic, which is the Beachbody physique competition. And I had talked about those things, you know, when, like Crystal said, when we were on the Beachbody cruise, but I made the commitment last year to do two things: to participate in the Beachbody Classic and to get on stage with Sagi. The challenge was, I submitted my results, but I did the first round of Body Beast, didn't submit my results. Did the second round of Beast, that's where I submitted my results. And the funny thing is, I didn't realize it until after I had submitted. But when you submit your results, it always saves the results from the time before, which was 21-day fix. I never switched the drop down. So I submitted a second result of 21-day fix, which was kind of funny. The night that I found out I won, I put it on Facebook, and I was home. I was responding to everyone's, you know, congratulations, everything. And I get a Facebook message, and I swipe it. And I'm like, I don't think I should have swiped that. Let me go and see who it is. I go into my inbox, and it was Sagi Kalev. I didn't even open it for like 10 minutes because I'm like, because the first words that I saw were congratulations. And the man has absolutely changed my life. He's given me the tools that I used to change my life. So I opened it, and he goes on to say congratulations, but he had a few questions for me because headquarters was saying I only had done Beachbody or Body Beast for about 4 to 5 weeks. And he's like, no. He's been doing it since, you know, the summer. So he asked me what happened. So I told him about the whole drop down, and I didn't switch it. So we're conversing back and forth. And he said, well, I want you to be the first one I pick. You're going to be on stage with me at the super workout in front of 25,000 people, helping me reach a workout. And again, I looked at my phone for 10 minutes, bawling my eyes out, ran upstairs, woke my wife, showed her, because I had met that goal. And it was an unreal feeling to do that many months. And at that time, I had won the monthly Beachbody Challenge contest, and I won it. And at that time, I had lost 79 pounds. And around that time, you know, we were doing challenges for Sagi to get up on stage, and they were hard. And it really hasn't been easy. Even to today, the nutrition gets me, whether I'm eating not enough or sometimes the wrong things. And so after that, I just kept on going. But the one thing about Sagi's group is when we were doing these challenges, people were doing them on Facebook Live, and we were joining and watching each other and supporting each other. And, you know, whether it was our push-up challenge, we had a squat challenge, a static hold, whatever it was, we were there supporting each other. And it was like a family, just like Crystal and Andrea talked about, you know, Epic and how much they're a family, and they are. And just being able to do that and feel that is really amazing. And, you know, about that time, I started to embrace all the comments I got about being inspiring and motivating. And, you know, and I come to the point right now is I don't care if I'm motivating because I have cerebral palsy and I'm working out. I don't care because I work out 6 days a week and I post every workout. If I'm able to have someone change their nutrition, push play, go out for a walk, anything that matters to me. And, you know, getting a chance, I was just in the last quarterly and being able to post that and trying to have people vote for me and people reaching out saying how inspiring I am that never have commented on my stuff before. Is amazing. And now I look at that. If one person tells me that I'm inspiring, there's 10 other people out there that are watching that don't have the confidence to reach out and say anything. But I know I'm affecting their lives. And now that's what my journey has become, is like Andrea said, is being able to change lives and through what I do. And that's the way I look at what I do on a daily basis, is to make people, you know, make that decision to change their life, to make that decision where I was 17 months ago. So fast forward a little bit, I just wrapped up my 3rd round of Beast. I'm doing some workouts to get ready. Oh, and in this time I signed up for the Classic, so I haven't done it yet, but I am in the Classic. But I found out yesterday that I have to cancel my tanning appointments. The reason I have to cancel my tanning appointments is I got a call yesterday that I am the 2017 Male Ultimate Health Transformation winner.
Woo!
It's mind-boggling. It really is. And from what they told me, it was a landslide. And it wasn't, I mean, the amount of people who came out and supported us on a daily basis and said they were supporting us, me, Andrea, and a couple other people, it's overwhelming. And it shows you how much people in the Beachbody community support each other. And I was able to take my story, and I have taken my story out to other fitness groups on Facebook, and they've gotten their support, which is even more amazing, because they see me in what I do. And as of today, like you said, Scott, I'm down 114 pounds. I think I'm hitting my bottom. Not that I have ever set a goal of a bottom, because I haven't been this weight since high school. And I'm definitely better looking than I was in high school, but you know, it's been amazing. And I just want to be able to show that, you know, if you think you have obstacles in your way, if you really want to change your life, you'll find a way to get over them. And, you know, I don't let my cerebral palsy control me. I control that. I control it. I make the decision every day to get up at 4 a.m. and get my workouts in. Well, right now, 2 workouts in. And that's a conscious decision that I do every day. And, I'm so grateful to you, Scotty, to Beachbody, that I'm able to bring my story to more people and to inspire and motivate more people.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. Your story is extremely moving as well. I'm going to have to show you this real quick. It started raining, so I can't open my phone right now with my thumbprint. So I did a little video when you were emotional talking about Sagi. I texted it over to him. So I wanted him to know how much he's impacting you as well, and the people that you're impacting because of that ripple effect. Absolutely awesome. Thank you, and congratulations on winning the health challenge for the Mel. That's absolutely mind-boggling. Is that $25,000 prize? Is that right?
Yeah, it's $25,000. Wow.
That's incredible. That's I know that's life-changing for you. For many people, would be life-changing. Yes. But I know that that the prize is much bigger than that. Your health and that sense of purpose that you've found in this community and in inspiring other people. So I just want to thank you guys once again. I knew this call would go a little bit long because we have 3 speakers, but we were ready for that, and it was time well spent. And I want you guys to know, Crystal, Andrea, and Kevin, that we appreciate you guys coming on here, taking time out of your day to speak to our team and our coaches. And this will be on YouTube, so even more people are going to hear about your story. Like, the first thing I'm thinking right now is, like, I got to get this recording, and I got to put this in my challenge group, because I know there's people where you've been, Andrea, and I know there's people where you've been, Kevin, and I know that's going to be able to inspire other people as well. And Crystal, I just want you to know that this accolade of what you've created and helped, and the way you've helped transform their lives is bigger than any accolade that you could ever achieve and be on stage for at Summit, the Million Club, Elite, whatever, any of those things. This is what it's about. This is the core purpose. So I want you guys to know that, and you guys are very faith-based, that should you could continue on this path with this mindset, you'll never fault in anything that you ever need in your life. You'll be blessed because of the way that you guys operate and the values that you guys have inside of your team. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, let you guys know that. Remember that this call is recorded, so you can share with anybody. Next week, we have our 30-minute mentor series as well at the same time with surprise guest speaker. So don't miss out, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Thank you so much.